Later on, Billy was getting TV shows and also movies. He was in several movies. He was in the Jim Thorpe movie. He played Jim Thorpe. Now, Jim Thorpe was an Olympiad who was doing all these different activities, winning gold medals. And Billy Gray played him in the movie Jim Thorpe. That was several years ago.
Billy Gray started his film career in the late 1940s. He portrayed a young Jim Thorpe in Jim Thorpe, All-American, and starred in the science fiction movie The Day the Earth Stood Still. Next, he portrayed Bullseye Tag, the younger brother of Annie Oakley, in the pilot episode of the TV series Annie Oakley.
But the movie that he liked the most was...
Her son, little Billy Gray, was about 10 or 11 at that time, I guess. He was one of the best child actors I've ever worked with. He was so quick and warm and easy and responsive. It was a pleasure to work with him.
I wished I had something more to do with it other than just acting in it. I try and associate myself with it as much as I can because it's definitely the movie that I'm most proud of being involved with. And not just because of the work, because I think the work was good. It's hard not to be good when you've got a director of the quality of Robert Wise. And I wish the heck I'd have held on to the little diamonds that, and I think some of our scenes worked out really well too, because they seemed to roll nicely. That stuff that when we were at the monument and all that was all done with process screens.
Billy Gray had been in other films before. He was not a novice by any means, but I don't think I've ever worked, including all the children in Sound of Music, that have felt more natural and easy and free, and the scenes just came so easy with him.
And this was before his famous TV show, Father Knows Best.
Scott Paper Company takes pleasure in presenting Robert Young and Jane Wyatt, with Eleanor Donahue, Billy Gray, and Lauren Chapin in Father Knows Best.
Now, Billy got this role for this TV show. It started off in about 1952, and about 1953, it got canceled. And there was this huge protest in Hollywood, like, why did they cancel that show? And they brought it back on for several more seasons. And Billy Gray, he played the little Bud. Now, Bud was just a young guy. He was always kind of making a little trouble, probably just like Billy Gray is and was, a little troublemaker. But he was a cool character, and he was in that show for several years. And he was the star with Eleanor Donahue, was the sister. Now, Eleanor is still alive today, and she's quite elderly. She's the mother of the Speedway announcer, Chris Ackerman. So Eleanor and Billy Gray both have a Speedway tie. So that's kind of cool.
What do you hear from the poor people?
How's the new deal?
Great, Dad, just great.
Better go easy on that candy. Dinner's almost ready.
Oh, I probably won't be here for dinner, Mom. Me and Fred are going to the show, and I gotta leave pretty soon.
What goes with him?
What do you got, Bud?
Nothing you'd be interested in. Get your nose out of it.
Okay, stingy.
Ooh, what's this for?
Don't handle the merchandise.
Forgive me, O Emperor. 1,000 pardons, Your Royal Highness. I shall go forth and execute myself immediately.
Yeah, you do that. I gotta be leaving now. I'll see you later.
Well, what about dinner?
Well, I'll grab a steak or something at a restaurant. Sure. I'll see you.
Bud, don't forget to wear a jacket. It'll be cold walking downtown.
Well, I won't walk. I'll catch a cab.
You call that normal?
And when Billy was young, he made pretty good money, and he was paying like $75 a month rent at this house in Topanga, California. And the owner was getting old and said to Billy, "You want to buy my house?" And Billy said, "Sure." So he bought the house in Topanga back 1950s when he was just a teenager. And Billy Gray has lived in that same house ever since that time. And he said that's the best investment he's ever made. Probably was, and I'm sure his taxes are very low still.
During Billy's time on Father Knows Best, he rented a basement apartment for $75 a month at a home in Topanga, California. The same house became a home to both him and his motorcycle museum in 1957. Billy Gray lives today in a house in Topanga, California, which he bought in 1957 with the money earned from Father Knows Best.
But Billy Gray, he went ahead and he was like a star, and he was racing motorcycles. He had this love for motorcycles, and he was racing the motorcycles down Whittier Boulevard in Whittier, California. And the executives for the TV show found out that Billy Gray was racing motorcycles, and he should be not doing those kind of things, because what if he gets hurt? It's going to hurt the production. And they told Billy, like, you can't do that. You can't be racing motorcycles and being an actor. And Billy still probably did it. He loved motorcycle racing, and he just kind of really fell in love with racing.
Shortly after Billy turned 15 on January 13, he got his first motorcycle, a 500cc matchless British racing bike in 1953. He rode it to the studio when they filmed Father Knows Best, and the studio executives didn't have a problem with it until they found out he drag raced with a Triumph 650 on the weekends. "They kind of went nuts and made me stop," Billy said.
And he just kind of really fell in love with racing. And as he got older, he had some legal problems. Back in the early days, it was illegal to smoke marijuana and to be involved with that. And Billy enjoyed that, like most people in California do today, a lot of people. And he got arrested for that. And one of the movie critics, one of the big name movie critics, labeled Billy Gray as like a user and like a pusher and a drug addict and stuff. And it kind of ruined Billy's name. And later, Billy went ahead and he sued that movie critic and won a settlement out of court, undisclosed amount of money. Probably made some money off of that guy. But he kind of ruined Billy's acting career.
The television show ended its run in 1960. 2 years later, Billy got arrested for possessing marijuana seed and residue. A nearby cop smelled the odor of marijuana being smoked and then searched Billy's parked car. The officer found a bag of seeds Billy had intended to give to a friend and forgotten about along with residue and arrested him. Although a judge sentenced Billy to between 1 and 10 years in prison, he only served 45 days. He smoked weed since the age of 14, but with the charge being scandalous at the time, his acting career took a severe knock. When Billy got the part of a greasy-haired heroin dealer in the 1971 film Dusty and Sweets McGee, his situation only worsened. Gray continued his acting career into the 1980s, although later roles were not as successful as Father Knows Best. The movie critic, Leonard Maltin, referred to Billy as among real-life addicts and pushers that starred in the film, and along with his previous possession conviction, acting roles dried up. 3 years later, Billy finally got his name cleared as a real-life addict when he successfully sued Leonard Maltin. In return, Billy received an undisclosed financial settlement and a public apology from Leonard, who said, "I did not intend to convey that Billy Gray was a heroin addict or a pusher."